Quote, our government supports an open internet where Canadians have the power to communicate freely and have access to the legal content of their choice. Seems like a good idea. That's a quote from the Liberal Justice Minister in 2017. But sadly, Bill C-10 does the exact opposite. It actually takes choice away from Canadians by dictating the content that they should and should not view online. It's sneaky, it's controlling, and it's wrong. So why is the Prime Minister insisting on regulating the internet?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Justice Canada's analysis confirms that Bill C-10 remains consistent with the Charter's guarantee of freedom of expression. C-10 aims to level the playing field between creators and web giants. It requires big, powerful foreign streamers to provide information on their revenues in Canada, financially contribute to Canadian stories and music, and make it easier for individuals to discover our culture. The bill explicitly says that obligations apply to web giants only, not Canadian users. Web giants have gone unregulated for far too long. Our government has chosen action over reaction.
The member for Lethbridge.
The Prime Minister insists on misleading the House and thereby the Canadian public. In 2017, the Prime Minister, however, was committed to defending this concept of net neutrality, which of course is the principle that internet users should have equal access to all sites, all content, and all applications without blocking or giving preference. Now he wants to put an internet czar in place in order to promote some creators and demote others. It's wrong. With Bill C-10, the Prime Minister is turning Canada into the most digitally regressive democracy in the world. Why?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, in 2017, the Conservatives demonstrated they didn't understand net neutrality, and they certainly don't understand it now. Bill C-10 seeks to promote Canadian music, storytelling, and creative works. It does not affect the work and activities of internet service providers in Canada. It has no impact on Canada's commitment to net neutrality.
The member for Lethbridge.
Wow, I thought the Prime Minister was going to mansplain net neutrality there for a moment, but it looks like he doesn't even understand the definition because he couldn't define it. The Prime Minister tries to mislead Canadians by saying that Bill C-10 is against web giants and it's about promoting Canadian artists and content. So let's have some fun. Do a little quiz. There's a movie. It's called Ultimate Gretzky. It's about none other than Canadian-born Wayne Gretzky, who is often described as the greatest hockey player ever. It's also filmed largely in Canada. So through the chair to the Prime Minister, is this movie Canadian enough to pass as Canadian content?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
For many years, Canada has put in place measures to support and promote Canadian content, to create the kind of film and production industry that led to the creation of many of the great content like what the honourable member is talking about. The fact is we made choices to highlight and privilege Canadian content over foreign content. That is exactly what we're going to continue to do and give the tools to the CRTC to do in an increasingly digital world to make sure we continue to find and tell and share stories of Canadians, great Canadians like Wayne Gretzky.
The honourable member for Lethbridge.
Well, that was embarrassing. A whole lot of ums and ahs and a few stumbles, and yet isn't able to define Canadian content. Likes to talk about it a lot, though. Let's talk a little bit more about Canadian creators, shall we? Brian Wiley from Calgary, an expert gamer who has over 1 million followers on Twitch. Or how about Montrealer Kiana Gomez, who created a whole business using TikTok? Sadly, these self-made creators just aren't Canadian enough in order to be considered artists by the Liberals. Bill C-10 will punish them, demote them, prevent them from being further successful. Why is the Prime Minister hell-bent on punishing these ingenuitive creators?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, what we have demonstrated from the very beginning of our time in office in 2015 is that we are there to support Canadian content, Canadian creators right across the country, particularly after a Conservative government that did nothing but attack culture, attack content creators, and limit the cultural industries in this country. We will continue to stand up for producers and content creators of great Canadian content right across the country. This Bill C-10 is about giving the CRTC the tools to do just that in a world where people don't only get their Canadian content from CBC or CTV or on the radio. We need to make sure we continue to support Canadian content. That's exactly what we're going to do. No surprise the Conservatives don't get it.